It might be useful if someone remembers the correct combination. Listen, the vault in my office. Do you have the code for it?
Possibly, yes. I would have to take a look in the reports.
Please do so, all right?
Detective Lockley, your predecessor, was a bit messy.
That doesn't surprise me.
I have no note from him, but the original combination was 88834. He might have set the original combination again before he left.
I'll try it, thank you. Constable, get me an attendant, please. I'll need him the whole day.
Sergeant Carter will go with you, sir. I will send him to the gate.
Excellent, thank you. A beautiful piece of manual work. So let's have a look inside. What a surprise! Anything I don't need will be thrown out. Something has happened in St. Patrick's Church. The caretaker, Father Mulcahy, requires the presence of a police officer. I'll find out more once I get there. If I don't find them within the next 5 minutes...
Detective Sergeant Briscoe, sir?
Yes, and you are?
Sergeant Carter at your command, sir.
Relax, Sergeant. Do you know where St. Patrick's Church is?
Yes?
Ah, good. You can tell me more about it on the way.
And, why are you, particularly interested in the church, sir?
We'll see when we get there.
Rightio, follow me, sir. Here we are, sir. The church is right behind the gate.
You found it quickly. Good job.
Thank you, sir. If you don't need me anymore, sir, I will return to the station.
No, I need you to be at my disposal the whole day.
Oh, as you wish.
I'll talk to the vicar. Wait here. Father Mulcahy.
Yes? Who are you?
I'm Detective Sergeant Briscoe.
You are with the police, but I explicitly requested Inspector Lockley.
I'm sorry, but he retired recently. I am his successor.
Ah, well, I suppose it cannot be helped.
How can I help?
This is a rather sensitive matter. Do you have a warrant card?
It's a bit awkward, but this is my first day on duty. I haven't sorted all the formalities yet.
How can I be sure you are not a journalist?
You know, there is Sergeant Carter, my attendant, guarding the main gate. I can call him in if it satisfies you.
That will not be necessary, Detective. I will trust you under such circumstances. Let your attendant keep guarding, and would you please follow me?
Most of them are well cared for. Surely many people come here every day. This is it? A single broken door?
Of course. What did you expect? This is where the gentry are laid to rest, Detective. Some of these tombs have been standing here for hundreds of years. Such an event can seriously damage the reputation of our church.
I apologize. When did you notice it?
This morning, I was looking for Mr. Talbot, the gravedigger. He likes to drink from time to time, and then he usually falls asleep among the graves, which reminds me I still have to find him. I was searching his favorite places when I found this desecration.
All right, it would be better if you could bring him here. He might know something more. I'll take a look inside in the meanwhile.
Please, Detective, you cannot do that.
Do I need permission?
No, but I cannot allow such a sacrilege. Please give me your word.
I'm sorry, but I cannot.
I'm going to look for Mr. Talbot now, and I will pray you do not make any errors, Detective.
It's obvious he cares about the church. Or is there something else? We'll see. There'll be more in that than just a broken door. Something's wrong here. They must have used great strength to force the door. Maybe they weren't interested in the tomb itself. Maybe they just wanted to get in. I hope Father Mulcahy will understand I really need to enter. Everything seems to be all right at first glance. I thought someone had robbed the place. At least that would explain the forced door.
Detective Briscoe! You must see this, Detective Briscoe! Ah, there you are. Something terrible has happened. You have to see.
Calm down and tell me what is going on.
I can't. I'll show you. Please just follow me. Quickly. Look at this. Such a disaster.
Do you know who he was?
Mr. Talbot, the gravedigger.
How many people are there in your staff?
Only the two of us were left. Dear Lord, what shall I do now?
Did you move the body?
No, I ran to you immediately.
Father Mulcahy, I have to ask you to leave the crime scene. This is nothing for your eyes.
You are right. It would be better.
I can imagine how difficult it must be for you, but please, stay somewhere nearby.
I will be at your disposal, Detective. You know, although he was not a particularly humble servant, he did not deserve such an end. God bless his soul.
I hope Carter's still at the gate. Nobody must see this. If I'd found him in the forest, I would think he had been torn up by bears. But here... I've already seen several cutthroats, but none of them looked quite so repulsive. What's this? Probably a bottle. Father Mulcahy was right. Mr. Talbot was fond of drinking, but it has nothing to do with his death. He has nothing else with him. He has nothing else with him. He has nothing else with him. Being in the murderer's shoes, I would go and wash myself. He might have left some evidence there. The murderer must have been covered in blood, but I can't see any solid evidence. He certainly didn't touch the pump. Another corpse. How many more will there be? A broken spine. Someone jumped on him from a great height. He must have died very slowly. It has something in its teeth. I can't pull it out. Is it possible the dog killed the gravedigger? No, it couldn't get so far with a broken spine. It has something in its teeth. I can't pull it out. An interesting catch. I'll make some notes. The ground is too hard. There are no footprints. Pity. I can't see any signs of a struggle. That is strange. The ground... If it hadn't been here, it would have been much more difficult to climb up the wall. I didn't want to get my clothes dirty. One doesn't have to be a great sportsman to climb up that. Sometimes even the slightest detail can be important, but I can't see anything. Except the usual occupiers. No other corpses. Pretty comforting discovery. Why did you explicitly want Inspector Lockley to come?
A strange question. Don't you know what he devoted himself to?
I've not had the pleasure of meeting him.
The inspector investigated most of those cases nobody else wanted to work on, including all accusations against Sir William. We have talked to each other several times.
Was he interested in anything in particular?
Once or twice he wanted to enter Lewis's tomb, but he never obtained the permission. Then I think he found a better hobby than hunting ghosts in graveyards. I have not seen him for weeks now.
I took a walk around the graveyard. It's a pretty big area. How do you manage to look after it?
It was Mr. Talbot's responsibility. He received an extra payment for that.
Did you allow him to have a dog with him?
Oh yes, I totally forgot about it. I will have to take care of the dog.
I'm afraid it won't be necessary. The animal is dead too.
I simply cannot understand this. Mr. Talbot trained dogs very well. Nobody was better at training dogs than him.
I suppose the dog tried to protect its master, and it kept attacking the murderer until the last breath. I also suppose the murderer fled over the top of the wall in the back part of the graveyard, where it's no problem to climb up. That's why the gravedigger's dog was killed in a different place to its master.
But tell me, Detective, who could have done such a thing?
I'll tell you that as soon as we find him. I have to ask you, where were you last night?
We buried Sir William last night. It was the family's wish that he was buried in secret, so the funeral was after sunset. It is strange you do not know that. The police supervised the whole ceremony. After the funeral, I went to bed and fell into a deep sleep.
So you didn't hear or see anything suspicious?
No, otherwise I would have investigated.
I think that sounds credible. So, the police participated in the funeral as well. I was just on my way to Plymouth. I'd be grateful for any information.
Not directly. They only had to look out for troublemakers that might possibly try to disrupt the ceremony. Sir William was very unpopular thanks to the rumors.
And were there any troubles?
It depends. The police made several raids on the local disreputable public houses in the hope that it would divert attention from the graveyard. It seemed to have worked. But this morning, alas, I found the damaged tomb. It is a terrible tragedy.
Sergeant, I'll need your help. I want you to prevent anybody from entering the graveyard.
Of course, sir.
We have a murder here. I don't want anybody to be blundering around.
Wouldn't it be better if I ran to the station, sir?
No, it would not. You will not move an inch from the gate.
Excuse me, sir, but I think...
You personally guarantee that nobody will get to the cemetery. Do you understand?
As you wish, sir. You are the detective, sir.
The best thing I can do is report the incident myself, and the sooner the better. At least I can try out the office telephone. We have work to do, Sergeant. Someone has broken into a nobleman's family tomb.
Oh, unbelievable. What are people capable of today?
Tell me, has something similar happened before?
I don't know about anything like that, sir. Try asking the local vicar.
Yes, I was going to do that.
Shall I go to the office, sir?
Why? Do you think we'll need help?
Well, I think we might.
I'll manage, don't worry. Do you have any matches?
Of course, sir. Do you smoke?
No. Sometimes I just need to shine light on something.
I have a cigarette from time to time, sir, but it's hard on the pocket. Here you are, sir.
Thank you. He is completely cold. No, nobody has used it for ages. Better to be safe than sorry. I poured everything out. Strange. It's as if it was still waiting for its owner. Why would they put an empty coffin here? Maybe I just don't understand local customs. Now, this is better. The oldest deceased was Abraham Lewis. Died at the age of 38. Odd. The tomb seems to be for male family members only. But none of them lived to reach the age of 40. Why would they put an empty coffin here? Strange. It's as if it was still waiting for its owner. What could it be? I can't grasp it properly. The crevice is too narrow. Well, I expected a coin. This won't be of any substantial value. I'm no expert, but it cannot be recognized by the naked eye. No scratches, a perfect cut, and a very specific refraction of light. It takes my breath away. This must be a real diamond. The damaged tomb. Does it belong to a significant family?
Significant? Not significant. Rather cursed.
Excuse me. What do you mean?
Exactly what I am saying. The Lewis family, one of the oldest families in the whole town, was once highly respected. But when Sir William was born, the last heir, it seemed God turned away from them. And if not God, the townspeople certainly did. Nobody could bear to look at his lifeless face. Even yesterday, at the funeral, the coffin was kept closed during the whole ceremony. The night's events are the punishment for our weakness. That's simply the way it is.
Wait a minute. I need to make this clear. The damaged tomb belongs to the deceased's family. The one whose funeral was held just yesterday.
Precisely. We placed Sir William Lewis's lifeless body in his tomb in the dead of night. And this morning that same tomb was desecrated.
Father Mulcahy, can you be discreet?
I am a priest.
I was inside the tomb, despite your request not to.
Why are you telling this to me? You will confess to God, not to me.
The coffin is empty.
What? It's not possible.
Please, stay calm.
Dear Lord, but that would surely mean... Are you sure? You opened the coffin?
It was open when I stepped in.
But what shall we do now?
For now, keep it to yourself.
You can count on that. Do you realize what a scandal this is?
Leave it to us. We will solve it. It's becoming pretty complicated. I have to find out as much about the deceased as I can. A reminder of the plague which befell Plymouth last century. What's this? I almost overlooked it. An interesting catch. I'll make some notes. Someone threw it away the night Sir William's body disappeared. It must have been so. Otherwise, someone would already have picked it up. The piece of cloth I found between his teeth is of great significance. It might prove whether the dog bit into the gravedigger's clothes. This is not a suitable hiding place for a thief. It's right in front of the main gate and quite well lit. Whoever was waiting at the monument failed to smoke his cigarette, but he didn't fear being found. I got used to having them all together. I can't understand what might have mangled him like that. And I think he was drunk, so he couldn't put up any resistance. I'll know more after the post-mortem. Strange. I've never seen an empty coffin in a tomb before. Father Mulcahy might know more about that. Sergeant, you told me you smoke sometimes.
Yes, I'm partial to the odd smoke, sir.
How much would this kind of cigarette cost?
Oh, let me see. Well, hand-rolled, that's nothing unusual. It depends on the tobacco, you know. This one, for instance, smells very good. Why are you interested in it, sir?
I found it near the column. It might have belonged to someone who knows what happened here.
Really? How would you know that, sir?
Because I doubt it would go unnoticed all day. And what would a typical resident of this district do if they were passing by chance and saw it lying there on the footpath?
He would pick it up, sir. I see. So someone must have thrown it away tonight.
Exactly. And it is more than probable that the person who threw it away knows what happened here.
In that case, sir, I have such a theory, if it helps you, sir.
Go ahead.
No one rolls a cigarette in a hurry, sir. Maybe in a pub or while one is waiting for someone. I guess it would be the latter case. It takes time to prepare the whole thing, sir. It's something like a ritual of killing time, sir.
Not only time, Sergeant. Thank you for your remark. The mysterious smoker is slowly emerging. But if I really want to find him, I'll need more than one cigarette. Detective Sergeant Briscoe, put me through to Chief Inspector Powell, please. I see. And when will he return? It's urgent. All right, I'll call back later. Please tell him I called and that I'll be in the field now if he needs to talk to me. He'll know. Goodbye. He's not here, and he should be back in 2 hours, so what should I do now? I'm not going to waste my time. I'll search the neighborhood to try and find clues, and then we'll see. I suppose the best thing I can do now is phone Chief Inspector Powell.
I'm just asking, nothing more.
And I am repeating that it is pointless. There is nothing to see in there.
Well, if there is nothing to see, why don't you allow me to go in?
I have to insist that you leave.
Oh, I perfectly understand. Who's your superior?
You can ask at the station.
Thank you very much for your helpfulness.
Any troubles, Carter?
Not at all, sir. Just this annoying journalist. He wanted to go in.
Mind he stays on this side of the wall.
Should I arrest him straight away, sir?
Do you have any reason to do that?
I think he's suspicious, sir. How come he appeared right here?
Leave it up to me. Do you know that man?
I do, sir, unfortunately.
Why the regret?
His name is Nathaniel Forrest. He brings nothing but trouble. I don't know how it's possible, sir, but any time anything happens, he's there. He's like a pain in my neck, sir.
Which newspaper does he write for?
The Courier, sir. A local sheet, nothing special. He publishes a photograph, adds several pages of rubbish, and people swallow it. But in my opinion, sir, serious people never read anything like that.
How long have you been working as a police officer?
Only 2 years, sir, but the time passes pretty fast.
Yes, I've already noticed one never gets bored in here.
Well, sometimes it is exciting. The harbour attracts various shady fellows who like to cause trouble. You're probably used to more peaceful places, aren't you, sir?
That's true. I served in the countryside for 3 years.
Really, sir? I'd bite your hand off for that job, sir. Nobody could ever get me back to Plymouth. Why did you leave, sir?
I'm sorry, but I'd rather keep some details for myself, at least for now. So the journalist has gone for a ride. And he has the camera with him by complete coincidence, I'm sure. Unfortunately, I've no reason to confiscate it. As they say, wherever the devil can't go, he sends a journalist. Excuse me, are you with the press?
And you with police, if I'm not mistaken.
I see there is no need to pretend anything. So I suppose you will not mind several questions, will you?
Of course not.
What are you doing here so early in the morning?
There's nothing strange about it. I'm working on an article about the funeral of Sir William, which took place yesterday. You know, the noble man, nicknamed Mad William or something. I bet I won't be the only journalist who'll come here today, so I got up early.
I suppose the family of the deceased is agreeable to that, and that you have their consent?
Inspector, I hope we two are not going to trespass upon each other's patch.
Let me make it clear. I am no inspector, but I'm going to keep a close watch on you. You can count on that. And I'm prepared to pressure you if it's necessary.
I accept the challenge. It will be my pleasure to work with you.
Not mine. Big-headed fool. Just wait, I'll show you. Did you know Sir William personally?
Nah, we never met, thank God.
Tell me, how can you write about someone you don't know?
Inspector, everyone knew Sir William because of what he did during his life. I've talked to plenty of people who ran away from the horror. Trust me, the stories were terrible.
Verified by whom?
The horror of those people's eyes, Inspector. It will convince you more than anything else.
This is leading nowhere. A prostitute in a church would be more credible than him. I could not overlook the machine.
Do you like it? It has 3 gears, the latest technology.
I was talking about the camera you have in that bag.
Oh, that thing. Fairly common type. The picture's caught on a glass plate. It can be easily broken, which is why I had to buy a better bike, to lessen the risk.
And I suppose you have it on you by complete coincidence.
Not at all. I came to take some pictures of a tomb. A particular tomb.
You don't even have enough imagination to think up a lie.
I don't want to insult your intelligence. I still hope we'll come to an agreement and you'll let me in. I can make a famous man of you.
Forget it. Pack your stuff and get away. He's laughing in my face. I've never seen such impudence before. Sir, you have no business here, so please leave.
Don't count on it.
Have you ever seen a prison cell from the inside?
I have. But don't get me wrong, it's nothing to shout about.
Exactly.
Is that supposed to be a threat? You can't arrest me.
I'll do it.
I'll complain.
You can.
I'm not going to leave anyway. The public has a right to know what's going on.
He didn't swallow the bait. He's no amateur.